And welcome back to Washington Commanders Insider. Today, we're going to be talking about Deebo Samuel being ready to make an impact for the Washington Commanders. We're also going to be looking at their most recent contract extension as the Washington Commanders have extended Zane Gonzalez, the kicker for the Washington Commanders. So we're going to be talking about that. But first, let's go ahead and start with Deebo Samuel and just really talking about him ready to be an impact. And so you can find this on sportsillustrated.com. And look, it sounds like Deebo Samuel is super excited and ready to be an impact. He talks about, look, I think this is one of the best possible fits for me where I can go in and help a team. Samuel is talking about. He talked about it with his agent and just paraphrasing, but he said, look, this team was a top of my list as a team that I wanted to go. And he talked about how he has been watching Jaden Daniels from afar. Obviously, him and Brandon Ayuk, they are friends. And so he talked about, look, how he's watched him at LSU and just definitely admired the fact that, look, he could definitely do his thing. And so you also see that he's talking about Terry McLaurin and talking about, look, how he's ready to work and just how much of a grinder that Terry McLaurin is and how he's ready to go out there and match the energy and just saying that, look, I got a feeling this season is about to be one of them ones. And so, look, I think that Deebo Samuel and this energy that he's going to bring to this team, I think it's certainly going to help this team get to another level. And I'm just excited to see what Cliff Kingsbury is going to do with Deebo Samuel in the offense. I've talked about that. I don't think he's necessarily going to be running the football as much as he did with the San Francisco 49ers, but I do think that Deebo Samuel has plenty to offer to the Commanders. And I think that when it comes down to the downs where you got to have it, and I'm talking about you need to get past the sticks on third and fourth down, I think that Deebo Samuel is really going to benefit a lot from that. I think that, just the way that he can be used in motion and getting him just really into some open space in the middle of the field with his ability to just get past the initial contact and just really go with the yards after catch. I think that is going to be huge and really lead to a lot of big plays for the Washington Commanders. I can certainly see that, look, he is going to get us into plus territory off of that. And I cannot wait to see, just what his impact is going to be in the other ways that Cliff Kingsbury is going to use him, because I think that when you're talking about the screen game and just how you can get Deebo Samuels involved into that, I think that he's going to have a ton of opportunities there. I even see an opportunity where, maybe there's a lot of like the little jet sweeps. I could see like maybe some QB option stuff as well with him and Jaden Daniels. Like, I think that just the sky's the limit with what he can do. And I don't just look at his numbers and just say, okay, well, he had a down year in this last season with the San Francisco 49ers. I think that you have to look at that just from a whole. I mean, yes, I know he's was injured and he went through some things, but the San Francisco 49ers were certainly banged up. And look, even in a down year, he still had 51 receptions. He had 670 yards. And when you look at that, just in comparison to what the Washington Commanders were able to do in the receiving game, that's still going to be good enough to be second behind Terry McLaurin, and that's in a down year. And so, look, I think that Deebo Samuel, I expect for him to be maybe closer to where he was in 2023, at least, where he had 60 receptions, 892 yards, and he averaged 14.9 is what his average was, but he had 7 touchdowns. And I think that is going to be Deebo Samuel's right there. I think that he has the real ability to get to 1,000 yards as a receiver here in this Washington Commanders offense, mainly because of what he's going to be able to create once he gets into space. But I think that there's going to be, just the schemes and just the things that now Cliff Kingsbury can do with just him and Terry McLaurin. I can only imagine what's going to happen when they go ahead and they add, another wide receiver, which I think that they do. And just going back to the point of Deebo Samuel and just him as a running back, look, in last season, he had 42 carries last season. I think that you see that number go down. And when you look at his best season in 2021 with the San Francisco 49ers, look, he had 59 carries, 365 yards, and he averaged 6.2. He had 8 touchdowns. I think that you're probably going to see Deebo Samuel. I would say maybe 20 to maybe 30, I would say, maybe as a running back. And if that, I think that that maybe is really the limit. I could see the Washington Commanders maybe utilize him. I think that, like I said before, I think you're going to see more of him in open space as a wide receiver. And then also, too, one of the things that I think a lot of people are forgetting that he can do is he can be excellent in the kick game. And so I think that he would be an excellent punt returner for us. I think that that's another way to get him out in the open space, as well as kickoff coverage. I think that that is another thing that Deebo Samuel could do. And I think that that certainly is not going to wear on him maybe as much as being a running back. And so, look, I'm excited to see what Deebo Samuel is going to do. But more importantly, I want to see what the other pivot is going to be for the Washington Commanders, because I certainly think that there is going to be another wide receiver added. I know that we're hearing the rumors now with maybe Christian Kirk maybe coming over, because that is a reunion here with Cliff Kingsbury. I think that with the injuries, I'd be a bit concerned with Christian Kirk coming over and just really what he can do from a productivity standpoint. When you look at the free agent market right now, I'd say the top is going to be Devontae Adams. We've talked about this before with him. He probably wants to go to the West Coast, and then maybe he wants to probably be in a package deal maybe with Aaron Rodgers. And so maybe probably going to be out on that. And plus, I know, just his comments before in the past, I'm not sure, the Washington Commanders would take the chance, but who knows? But, again, I think right now, if you're looking at the free agent market, just some players that maybe stick out for a short contract and can really help this team. I like Keenan Allen. Amari Cooper is certainly a name that I've talked about before. But going back to a wide receiver that I would certainly love the Washington Commanders to get, it would be Chris Godwin. Now, they did not franchise tag him, so that means he's out there. And so I think the Washington Commanders certainly have the cap space to go and get him. I think that that would be really the dream scenario for the Washington Commanders, is if they can get Chris Godwin. And I think that you get you another wide receiver here via free agency, and I think that you can still add another wide receiver, via the draft for the future for this team. And I think that that still makes a lot of sense. And so excited to see Deebo Samuel, excited to see what the next pivot is going to be here via free agency. And so next, I wanted to talk about the recent extension here for Zane Gonzalez. And so, look, I think that this was a great extension. Just found out that it looks like that it is going to be a 1-year deal for him, right around 1.17 million for him. And so I like that for Zane Gonzalez. And so, look, he was very impressive, I think, having to step in for Austin Cyber. And look, man, I think that he made some clutch kicks for us in the playoffs. He was certainly reliable. When you look at the scoring chart and just what he was able to generate, look, I think he was, he had 34 points scored. And so that's pretty good to see. With Zane Gonzalez, we know that this is a guy that certainly can put some points up on the board, especially if we're not getting touchdowns. And so I think that this is a great signing. And this really kind of goes into what Adam Peters, I think, really wants to continue to do with this team moving forward in the free agency, is bringing back, some continuity, bringing back some players that, have gone through this situation, have really built with this team, and continuing to keep that foundation moving forward. I think that Zane Gonzalez is certainly one of those players, the way that he had to step in and be a terrific place kicker for us. And so anyway, let me know in the comments here what you think about this with with Zane Gonzalez re-signing. And then also, too, what do you think here about Deebo Samuel, his fit, his energy that he's ready to bring to the team? Do you think that it is certainly going to help this team hopefully get to the Super Bowl, and I'd love to say win this thing? And so let me know in the comments what you're thinking. And as we always say, go Commanders, and I will see you on the next one. All right, peace.